Hello everyone and welcome to my General Hospital Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Rick and Sunny get into a furious argument, and Sasha issues a warning to her friends at Deception. On General Hospital Today, Christina gives Sunny something to ponder about. Isaiah tries to warn Jordan, and Carly makes Sasha an offer. When Christina and Sunny visit Bobby's, they greet Molly and Alexis, who are seated at a separate table. Molly and Alexis talk about what happened to Cyrus while Sunny and Christina take a table. Alexis worries that when Jason vanished from his life, Danny might now lose his father, shortly after losing his mother. Later, Molly will take the youngster to the movies to check on him. Everyone gives Rick and Ava the stink look as they enter and seize a table. Rick notes that this may be enjoyable and assures Ava that she won't allow them to drive them away. Rick visits to greet Alexis and Molly. After saying his polite words, Rick heads back to Ava and their table. Molly confesses to her mother that she was tempted to tell her father to go, but this is the more relaxed Molly of today. She inquires about the progress of the house quest at Christina and Sunny's table. Since he acknowledges that it has been neglected, Christina advises him to give Donna and Avery a home first priority. Christina and her father discuss G. Ava tells Rick that she thinks Sunny must be happy that the custody dispute is ended as well, but Rick advises her not to push her luck. She continues, "I think we're in a good place and I'll show Sunny." Ava takes a drink of her coffee. Sunny and Rick argue. Saying good morning, Ava interrupts Sunny and Christina. She apologizes for interrupting, but she wanted to make sure Avery is aware of her recital and to confirm that she is picking him up from Carly's. When she has to see her daughter at the cemetery, Christina remarks it must be pleasant to spend so much time with her outside. Christina replies, "Are you sorry I can't go to my daughter's recital? Or that you got away with killing her?" When Ava expresses regret that she still feels that way. Matched screaming by Rick Sunny. Rick intervenes and informs Christina that Ava was declared not guilty by a jury, and that the incident was a tragic accident. Rick believes that her guilt over what she did to Molly's child is the true source of her rage. Rick is told to back off by Sunny. Sunny's daughter, like him, seems to believe that her feelings are the only things that count. Rick retaliates. They are told not to speak to Rick by Alexis, who steps in. Ava and Rick go back to their table. Sunny was on the verge of punching Rick out when he thanked Alexis. Christina and Sunny leave. Then, in an attempt to make fun of Alexis, Rick remarks, "Molly ran out. Did she even notice?" Alexis yells that she most likely left, because she didn't want to witness him acting like a jerk. Then Alexis leaves abruptly. Ava at Bobby's GH with Rick. When they get back to their table, Rick and Ava talk about how Alexis has always followed Christina around and cleaned up her mess, and occasionally she remembers she has another daughter. Molly must be appreciative of any attention Alexis provides her, he says. Alexis is called an equal opportunity offender by Ava, who also asserts that she shouldn't put herself on a pedestal and lecture other people. According to Rick, there is nowhere else to go but down after you reach the summit. Lucky is bored. At the hospital, Lucky begs his pal to get him out of there and wonders Isaiah whether he can die of boredom. Since he is not his physician, Isaiah is unable to do so, but he informs Lucky that he was halfway through this time. Lucky needs your help. Lucky claims that because his heart is now rooted in Port Charles, he was prevented from continuing because he received the odd, overwhelming impression that he wasn't finished yet. He has too much here. Elizabeth, his sister, his mother, and his son. She is a remarkable woman, according to Isaiah. Christina and Lucky sat together. Later, Christina pays Lucky a visit and expresses gratitude for his assistance in revealing Sam's true identity. "Do you think they'll ever find Cyrus?" Lucky wonders. They will never find Jason's body if he was involved, and Christina is not sorry. She asks him whether he believes she is mistaken about the scenario with Jason and Cyrus. Lucky is just aware that he doesn't want to be held accountable for taking a life because it suits him, which is exactly what Cyrus was doing. According to Christina, he hasn't had the same setbacks with the legal system as she has. Ava, together with her daughter, has killed 3 people. Sidwell discusses business. Sidwell is in the elevator heading to the Metro Court to meet Jordan. They exchange glances as Natalia and he enter the elevator. Sidwell asks Natalia how things are at Deceptions after another woman boards and disembarks. It's none of his business, she observes. He assures her that he will keep her secret, that they were married. Maxie is standing there as the doors open. They eventually arrive at the restaurant when she gets inside the elevator. Natalia Sidwell in elevator G. Maxie and Natalia hurry off, wondering what Lucy has arranged this meeting for. Jordan and Sidwell meet at the pub, where they talk about Cyrus's disappearance and how he caused her problems while she was the police commissioner. Jordan disagrees with someone taking matters into their own hands and eliminating Cyrus, regardless of her feelings for him. Sidwell and Jordan discuss GH. Jordan believes he didn't ask to meet with her in order to talk about the criminal justice system. Sidwell was interested in discussing the Esplanade. Jordan informs him that Mayor Collins wants it to remain where it was. Is this related to the mayor's personal relationship with Sonny? He wonders. Lucy informs Natalia and Maxie that their supplier of zincite sold out to Enchantment. Before Enchantment releases their goods first, Natalia observes that they urgently need a new source. Natalia notices what Lucy is thinking when she mentions that she might know someone after spotting Sidwell. Natalia and Lucy G. Lucy says she's very sorry, but the Deception team has a unique business opportunity for Sidwell, interrupting Jordan and Sidwell at the bar. Jordan tells Sidwell that he is free to leave, and that they can discuss this further later. She has another meeting too. Natalia and Maxie G. Natalia seems strange in the elevator, so Maxie asks if she's alright. According to Natalia, she has investigated this Sidwell man and found him to be hazardous. When Lucy and Sidwell show up, Lucy claims to have found a solution to their issues. Jins learns that Deception is interested in doing business with him. Jins offers GH by Deception. Jins clarifies that he needs 5% of Deception in order to renege on his agreement with Enchantment. Lucy responds that Lulu is not a shareholder and has no voice, but Maxie believes they should take into account what she said about Sidwell. Jordan is warned by Isaiah. Jordan and Isaiah get together at the coffee cafe. I just got out of a meeting with Jins, she says. Isaiah cautions her that this is probably not going to be the simple covert operation she had hoped for. Jordan GH is warned by Isaiah. Jordan believes that he doesn't truly value undercover labor, at least not the type she does. She is not comfortable with someone dying as a result of Sidwell's actions if she could have taken some action. To get him out of the way first, she would rather take the chance. He questions whether this has to do with her dissatisfaction at her desk. I'm doing this for myself, she says. Will she have time for enjoyment, given her busy schedule according to Isaiah? What kind of fun, she says. He proposes that they collaborate on that. Jordan stands up for herself GH. Olivia needs Carly's assistance. Olivia stops by Carly's office at the Metro Court to see how she's doing. To save Sasha from the Quartermaines, she needs Carly's assistance. When she inquires as to whether she has persuaded Jason to attest to being the father of her child, Carly responds that Sonny persuaded her not to. Olivia claims that's a novel strategy for her, but she worries that the QS may drive Sasha away. Carly GH checks in with Olivia. Olivia was considering providing Sasha a room here as well as a job in the kitchen at the Metro Court. Carly declares her interest. After that, Olivia receives a text telling her to fill it out and accompany Leo on his field trip as a parent had to cancel. Carly thinks she can enjoy the field trip and chat with Sasha. Sasha is tired. Jason discovers a weary Sasha in the kitchen of the Quartermaine estate. She tells Jason that she isn't sure how much more she can handle, because his mother is making her insane. She claims that after witnessing the family's efforts to get Willow's children back here, Monica is now pressing her with presents. She demonstrates to her child that Monica has already purchased baby clothes and refuses to let the Quartermaines decide their child's education or attire. She wants to raise the child alone and conduct her life as she sees fit. Jason claims that although he has committed to helping her and won't give her instructions, he can provide financial support. Jich has flooded Sasha. Sasha won't accept his money. Jason understands that she believes she wants to be in charge and views this as charity. He's the same way Sasha thinks and accustomed to getting his own way. Not this time, not with me, she informs him. Jason extends an offer to GH. When Cody gets there later, he sees Sasha putting groceries away. He says he can leave if she wants him to, but the coffee maker in the stables is broken. While venting about the Quartermaines breathing down her neck over this baby, she reassures him that everything is okay. He admits it was his fault and apologizes once more. Although he was the one who first brags about her pregnancy, she informs him that it was unrealistic to expect her to keep it a secret forever. They are well, Sasha informs him, adding that she needs to travel to the Metro Court to see Olivia. The Quartermaines may be intrusive, but they do care, Cody assures Sasha. Although Sasha is aware of their concern, she refuses to be influenced by them. Molly and Cody talk about Jeech. After Sasha departs, Molly arrives to take Danny to the movies. Cody informs her that he just seen Danny ride off. Molly claims that he contacted her, and that he would return immediately after picking up a textbook from a friend's house. Since he hasn't seen her since their journey to the roof, Cody inquires as to how she is. Molly claims that compared to where she was, she would prefer to stay there for a week. Cody is interested in the specifics. She regrets complaining about it, but it's nothing new that her parents can't stand one another. One day Molly wants to stand up. Cody inquires as to if she ever expresses her displeasure with their behavior. Molly hasn't. Cody understands since he thought he had to control his father's emotions and didn't want to let him down, which is why he waited so long to inform Mac that he was his father. Molly acknowledges that she is an expert at controlling other people's emotions. According to Cody, it was fantastic when he eventually told Mac. He claims it taught him that understanding other people's emotions also requires that they understand yours. Molly claims that her parents have always been at odds with one another, and that perhaps one day she will find the will to express her feelings to them both. Alexis then makes a phone call to check in. Sunny needs a house. Jason visits Sunny in the Metro Court in his room. He tells Sunny that he was framed, that Drew would not serve as his alibi, and that he had lied to the PCPD. Sunny refers to Drew as a bitch's son. Sunny shifts the conversation to Drew and Sidwell, who are pursuing the warehouses and the dock. Jason adds that Anna informed him that the device used at his penthouse was different from the one that blew up the warehouse, but the timing is suspicious because Sidwell was in town when his apartment caught fire. Something doesn't stack up, and Sunny claims he dislikes coincidences. Sunny and Jason discuss Jeech. It was hard enough to protect his penthouse, but now they have to safeguard this apartment, according to Jason. Sunny says he spoke with Christina earlier, and she helped him see that although security is crucial, Donna and Avery still need a place to live. Sunny says he needs to make a call he doesn't want to make and that Donna and Avery can't stay here. It worries Sunny. Sasha sees Sidwell with the deception crowd when she gets to the Metro Court for her appointment with Carly. She questions why they are with his man as she rushes over. He has a mineral they need, Lucy explains. Sasha tells them that she was abducted by this man and kept at gunpoint in a bombed building. She informs them that they should avoid doing business with Sidwell, and that they are taking a risk by entering into a transaction with him. Sidwell notes that no charges have been brought against him in spite of all the accusations made against him as Sasha storms off. Maxie says, "I can't believe Lucy is okay with this," in response to Lucy's question about how much zincite he has. Natalia acknowledges that they require that zincite when Lucy asks her opinion. Sidwell claims that although he will give them time to consider his offer, it won't stay on the table for long. Carly offers Sasha something. Sasha and Carly discuss business. Sasha asks Olivia why she wanted to meet him as they get at Carly's workplace. "It's about the baby," Carly explains. Sasha refuses to talk to her or anybody else about her child. It's not that, according to Carly. After discussing her problems at the Quartermaine estate, they reasoned that she might be able to work here. According to General Hospital spoilers, the ABC soap opera will soon include 3 startling plots. Let's discuss what's coming up because GH head writers Chris Van Etten and Elizabeth Corta gave SOD some tasty leaks. 1. Kai's future with Trina is at jeopardy due to his risky operation. Even though Kai Taylor and Trina Robinson are doing well, problems are coming. Kai is attempting to envision his life without football, but what would happen if that door were to suddenly reopen? As it happens, Kai will receive information on a novel process that would allow him to resume playing football. The problem is that there will be significant dangers associated with the procedure, particularly because the person making the offer will have a secret purpose. Kai will need to do something in exchange if he wishes to proceed with this procedure. Kai's strings-attached chance allowed Korte and Van Etten to guarantee some friction because Trina will see red flags everywhere. 2. Jason and Sasha's situation becomes chaotic. Let's talk about the ugliness that Jason Morgan and Sasha Gilmore Corbin will face next. They are now entangled in a situation that will cause issues because Jason is pretending to be the father of Sasha's child. Michael Corinthos, Carly Spencer, Willow Corinthos, Drew Quartermain, and the children could all be impacted if the true paternity is revealed, as Van Etten and Korte alluded to. It's intriguing that Carly was mentioned because it might indicate that she is making an already chaotic situation worse. In any case, Jason will be a great support system for Sasha, but their reunion may lead to unanticipated complications for them both. Does that imply a romantic attraction between Jason and Sasha? Instead, might Jason's possible affections for Anna Devane create a problem? 3. Liz and Lucky's rekindled romance is derailed by a former flame. Elizabeth Baldwin and Lucky Spencer's rekindled romance will face an unexpected obstacle. A past romantic interest may interfere just when it looks like Liz and Lucky's luck may finally be on their side. Will Rick Lansing be the ex who throws a wrench in the works? Korte and Van Etten revealed that another ex's story threatens to collide with theirs. Stay tuned for any unfavorable news that may be on the horizon, as our forecast suggests that Rick might figure out a way to stay in Liz's orbit. According to General Hospital spoilers, Port Charles is still in for some excitement. Port Charles is in danger. The unexpected partnership between Sidwell and Selena. According to General Hospital teasers, Jen Sidwell may indeed be the guy after Sonny Corinthos' turf. Given that Sonny assisted Holly Sutton in selling her gems, and that he and his ex-wife Natalia Rogers Ramirez have been spending a lot of time together, Sidwell undoubtedly harbors personal grudges against Sonny. Sidwell might have a partner when his goals become more apparent, and that partner might be Selena Wu. Selena Wu and Jen Sidwell have been collaborating for several months. Selena was perhaps the first person Sidwell had in Port Charles who could provide him with information before he ever got there. Selena may be Sidwell's eyes and ears because she has a wealth of inside knowledge about Sonny's activities. It will soon be known that they have been conspiring to annex Sonny's lands, and they intend to use the Esplanade as a cover for their schemes. The plan includes Drew Quartermain's involvement. Drew Quartermain is a key component in Selena and Sidwell's scheme, which involves using the Esplanade as a front for their illicit activities. Both Sidwell and Selena just met with Drew, and Sidwell is certain that he wants to be involved in the Esplanade project. Sidwell and Selena can use Drew as a cover-up and frame him if things ever get too heated, so he's playing right into their hands. Drew has his own agenda and is well aware of what he is doing, but he has no idea what he is getting himself into. He didn't expect to be blamed when chaos breaks out. Port Charles is in danger after an explosion at the Esplanade. Sidwell and Selena might have to take action to hide their crimes as the heat comes down on them. Sonny is going to retaliate and threaten the Esplanade, as he has been losing control of his domain. All of Sidwell and Selena's illicit activities can be linked to Drew, and they choose to frame Sonny for an explosion at the Esplanade. Sonny is accused in the explosion, and Drew is killed. Nonetheless, a large number of Port Charles residents were present when the explosion occurred, and lives were in danger. How will this fatal act at the Esplanade affect Port Charles after it has happened, and who will survive it? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you believe that Selena and Sidwell are collaborating? Will Drew become their scapegoat after becoming entangled in their web? Will Sonny be held accountable for the Esplanade explosion? To find out what happens next, keep watching General Hospital on ABC over the week. The same question has been repeatedly posed by many General Hospital viewers. Why does Carly Corinthos receive so much criticism on the show? For all the information you require, continue reading below. General Hospital spoilers. This explains Carly's high hatred. There are a lot of people that either adore or hate Carly Corinthos, or even Laura Wright who plays the character. There simply isn't any middle ground. Carly's antics and the fact that she is at the center of so many General Hospital plotlines appear to irritate viewers. To put it another way, there is just too much of Carly and not enough of the other people who also live in this made-up town called Port Charles. It is obvious that there is a lot to say about the issue on the internet. Carly has been receiving a lot of hate since the 1990s, and over the same things LOL, some detractors even remarked. If I received $1 each time someone voiced dissatisfaction with her shooting Tony, I would genuinely be a billionaire. Yes, she has ardent fans, but some of her detractors act with the fury of their worst enemies because some people appear to have a personal grudge against the actress and character, as though they know them personally. I have a love/hate relationship with Carly, remarked another critic. The most of the animosity occurred during Carly's early years. She did some terrible things. In any case, I adored Laura Wright as an actress and Sarah Brown. I adore Carly the best these days. General Hospital spoilers. What is Carly's true situation? Additionally, this comment was made. There is a distinction between a character who is loathed for their current plot, or who appears briefly as the villain, and a character that is hated continuously, regardless of their actions or inactions. Since the 1990s, Carly has been consistently despised. Sasha has a warning for her friends at Deception, and Rick and Sunny have a heated confrontation. The air at Deception was thick with tension, a palpable unease that seemed to seep through the walls of the luxurious office space. Sasha Gilmore stood by the floor-to-ceiling windows, her arms crossed tightly over her chest as she stared out at the bustling streets of Port Charles below. Her mind was racing, a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions that she could barely contain. She had always been a woman of strength and resilience, but the weight of what she had discovered was almost too much to bear. She knew she had to warn her friends, but the question was, would they listen? Sasha turned away from the window, her heels clicking sharply against the polished floor as she made her way to the conference table. Nina Reeves and Maxie Jones were already seated, their expressions a mix of curiosity and concern. They had been summoned urgently, and the gravity in Sasha's voice had left no room for delay. "What's going on, Sasha?" Nina asked, her brow furrowed. "You sounded like the world was ending on the phone." "It might as well be," Sasha replied, her voice low and steady. She took a deep breath, her eyes darting between Nina and Maxie. "I've uncovered something dangerous. And if we don't act quickly, it could destroy everything we've built here at Deception." Maxie leaned forward, her blue eyes wide with alarm. "What are you talking about? What's going on?" Sasha hesitated for a moment, her mind racing as she tried to find the right words. She knew that what she was about to reveal would change everything, but she also knew that she had no choice. Her friends deserved to know the truth, no matter how painful it might be. "I've been digging into some of the financial records," Sasha began, her voice trembling slightly. "At first it was just routine. I wanted to make sure everything was in order. But then I started noticing discrepancies. Large sums of money that were unaccounted for, transactions that didn't make sense. At first I thought it might be a mistake, but the more I looked into it, the more I realized that it wasn't. Someone has been embezzling funds from Deception." Nina's face paled and Maxie's jaw dropped in shock. "What?" Maxie exclaimed. "Who would do something like that? And why?" Sasha shook her head, her expression grim. "I don't know for sure, but I have my suspicions. And if I'm right, this goes much deeper than just money. This could be part of a larger scheme, one that could bring down not just Deception, but all of us along with it." Nina's eyes narrowed, her mind racing as she tried to process the information. "Do you have any proof?" she asked, her voice tight with worry. "Not yet," Sasha admitted. "But I'm working on it. And that's why I called you both here. We need to be careful, very careful. If the person behind this finds out that we're onto them, they could panic and do something even more drastic. We need to keep this quiet until we have all the facts." Maxie nodded, her usual bubbly demeanor replaced by a rare seriousness. "Okay," she said. "What do you need us to do?" Sasha took a deep breath, her mind already racing with plans and strategies. "For now, just keep your eyes and ears open. If you notice anything unusual, no matter how small, let me know immediately. And whatever you do, don't confront anyone about this. We can't afford to tip them off." Nina and Maxie exchanged a glance, their expressions a mix of determination and fear. They knew that Sasha was right. They were in dangerous territory, and one wrong move could have devastating consequences. As the meeting at Deception continued, tensions were also rising elsewhere in Port Charles. At the Metro Court Hotel, Rick Lansing was pacing back and forth in his suite, his mind a whirlwind of anger and frustration. He had just received word that Sonny Corinthos was back in town, and the news had sent him into a tailspin. Rick and Sunny had a long and complicated history, one filled with betrayal, rivalry, and violence. And now, with Sunny's return, Rick knew that trouble was brewing. The door to the suite opened, and Carly Corinthos stepped inside, her expression wary. "Rick," she said, her voice cautious. "What's going on? You sounded upset on the phone." Rick stopped pacing and turned to face her, his eyes blazing with anger. "Sunny's back," he said, his voice tight with barely contained rage. "And you didn't think to tell me?" Carly sighed, her shoulders slumping as she crossed her arms over her chest. "I didn't think it was a big deal," she said. "He's just here to visit Michael and the kids. It's not like he's staying for good." "Not a big deal," Rick repeated, his voice rising. "Carly, you know what Sunny is capable of. He's a dangerous man, and his presence here puts everyone at risk, including you." Carly's eyes narrowed, her own anger beginning to flare. "Don't you dare try to tell me what's best for me, Rick," she said, her voice sharp. "I know Sunny better than anyone, and I can handle myself." Rick took a step closer to her, his expression darkening. "Can you?" he asked, his voice low and dangerous. "Because from where I'm standing it looks like you're still under his spell. You're still letting him control you, even after everything he's done." Carly's eyes flashed with fury, and she took a step forward, closing the distance between them. "You don't know what you're talking about," she said, her voice trembling with anger. "You have no idea what I've been through, or what I've had to do to survive. So don't you dare stand there and judge me." The tension between them was palpable, the air in the room crackling with unresolved emotions. Rick and Carly had always had a complicated relationship, one filled with passion, betrayal, and heartbreak. And now, with Sunny back in the picture, those old wounds were being ripped open once again. Before either of them could say another word, the door to the suite burst open, and Sunny Corinthos himself stepped inside. His presence was commanding, his dark eyes scanning the room with a mixture of curiosity and suspicion. "Well, well," he said, his voice smooth and calm. "Looks like I'm interrupting something." Rick's jaw tightened and he took a step toward Sunny, his fists clenched at his sides. "What are you doing here, Sunny?" he demanded, his voice cold and hard. Sunny raised an eyebrow, a small smirk playing at the corners of his lips. "I could ask you the same question," he said, "but I think we both know the answer to that." Carly stepped between them, her hands raised in a placating gesture. "Enough," she said, her voice firm. "Both of you just stop. This isn't going to solve anything." But Rick and Sunny were beyond reason, their mutual hatred and resentment boiling over. Rick took another step forward, his eyes locked on Sunny's. "You think you can just waltz back into town and pick up where you left off?" he asked, his voice dripping with venom. "You think you can just come back and destroy everything I've built?" Sunny's smirk faded, replaced by a cold, hard expression. "You're one to talk, Rick," he said, his voice low and dangerous. "You've been playing both sides for years, manipulating everyone around you to get what you want. But guess what? Your time's up. I'm not going to let you ruin anyone else's life." Jason and Sasha had always managed to keep their lives relatively stable, but things took a turn for the worse when their worlds started colliding in unexpected and chaotic ways. What started as a small misunderstanding quickly spiraled into a tangled web of complications, forcing them to confront challenges neither had ever anticipated. It all began when Jason, a respected businessman known for his strategic mind and composed demeanor, found himself entangled in a high-stakes deal that required him to spend countless late nights at the office. Sasha, a fiercely independent woman with a thriving career in journalism, had always supported Jason's ambitions. However, his increasing absences began to create tension between them. Their once predictable and steady relationship started to show cracks, and misunderstandings piled up. One night, Sasha stumbled upon a cryptic message on Jason's phone from an unknown number. The message read, "Meet me at midnight. We need to talk alone." The secrecy of the message sent a wave of anxiety through Sasha. She trusted Jason, but something about the tone of the message made her uneasy. Was he hiding something? Was there a part of his life she was unaware of? Meanwhile, Jason was completely unaware of Sasha's concerns. He was consumed by the pressures of securing a multi-million-dollar contract that could change his career trajectory. The person who had messaged him was an old associate, someone he hadn't spoken to in years, but who suddenly had information that could make or break his deal. Feeling the weight of his responsibilities, Jason decided to keep the details from Sasha, not wanting to worry her unnecessarily. But Sasha's journalistic instincts kicked in. Unable to shake the feeling that something was off, she decided to follow Jason that night. Dressed in dark clothing, she discreetly trailed his car through the city until he arrived at an upscale hotel. Her heart pounded in her chest as she watched him enter the lobby and take the elevator up. She hesitated but then decided she needed to know the truth. Was Jason involved in something illegal? Was he seeing someone else? As Sasha stealthily made her way into the hotel, she overheard snippets of conversations that only heightened her suspicions. Guests whispered about a high-profile business scandal brewing, and Sasha's mind raced with possibilities. When she reached the floor Jason had gone to, she saw him standing outside a room, talking to a woman dressed in an elegant black dress. The woman handed Jason an envelope, and the two exchanged hushed words before Jason turned and walked away. Sasha, feeling betrayed and confused, decided to dig deeper. The next day, she used her journalistic resources to track down the woman and discovered her identity: Eleanor Hayes, a corporate strategist with a history of working in ethically gray areas. Rumors swirled about her involvement in business deals that weren't always above board. Sasha confronted Jason that evening, demanding the truth about what was going on. Jason, caught off guard by Sasha's accusations, tried to explain that the meeting was purely business-related. He assured her that there was nothing illicit happening, but Sasha's doubts remained. She had always believed in transparency, and Jason's secrecy made her question everything she thought she knew about their relationship. The tension between them escalated when Sasha's latest investigative piece uncovered corruption within the very company Jason was negotiating with. The article made headlines, exposing fraudulent activities and leading to legal investigations. Jason's deal crumbled overnight, and suddenly, he found himself at the center of controversy. His name was dragged into the mess, despite having no direct involvement in the corruption. He felt betrayed. Sasha's article, though truthful, had effectively destroyed months of his hard work. Their once loving relationship turned into a battlefield of blame and regret. Jason accused Sasha of prioritizing her career over their relationship, while Sasha argued that she had simply done her job, exposing the truth. Their heated arguments became frequent, and the emotional toll weighed heavily on both of them. To make matters worse, Eleanor Hayes, the woman from the hotel, resurfaced with a new agenda. She approached Jason with an offer to clear his name, but at a cost. Sasha, determined to protect Jason, secretly started her own investigation into Eleanor, suspecting she was behind the corruption scandal. The more Sasha uncovered, the more dangerous things became. One evening, Sasha received a chilling message: "Stop digging or you'll regret it." She knew she was getting too close to the truth. Fearful but undeterred, she pressed on, uncovering evidence that proved Jason had been set up. Eleanor had orchestrated the entire scandal to manipulate business dealings for her gain. Sasha rushed to Jason with the evidence, hoping it would salvage his reputation. But Jason, still reeling from their recent conflicts, hesitated to trust her completely. He questioned her motives, wondering if she was trying to fix things out of guilt rather than love. The hurt between them ran deep, and even with the truth laid out before them, the damage to their relationship seemed irreparable. In the end, Jason used Sasha's findings to clear his name and expose Eleanor. The legal battles that followed led to justice being served, but the experience had left scars on both Jason and Sasha. They had survived the chaos, but their relationship was forever changed. Trust, once their strongest foundation, had been shattered, leaving them at a crossroads. As they sat across from each other in their dimly lit apartment, they both knew that moving forward wouldn't be easy. The mess they had endured had tested their love, forcing them to confront hard truths about each other and themselves. The question now was, could they rebuild what had been broken, or had they lost each other in the storm?